Yes, folks, I am late. I apologize for that, but things got really. We had to get a lot done today. We had to get a lot done today, so we got it done, and I still have to go out here on the property and pull in um, a lot of the plants. Have got to come in because I could not allow these plants to stay out there, and so that being said, today is Wednesday's morning gardener show, and normally I would be already on the air by now, but I'm here now. I'm here now. I have to have a show. Hi, it was waiting when you Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that very much. I was online. Um, excuse me. I was dealing with some issues, and then when I got online, I said I got to go do the show today. I said, no matter how tired you are, you must make certain that you get that show done today because it's very important to a lot of people to get that show done. And good evening, hello. All right, this is Morning Gardener show, folks. Let's get the show on the road, so to speak. Um, I think that I got to watching some videos last night, and I remember uh, there was a some one show that kept emphasizing on the fact that a lot of us don't plant our plants at the proper spacing, and that what is on the seed packages were set up because of the way that conventional farming was done back in the day, where they definitely did the to make absolutely certain that that there was enough spacing for the equipment, for the farm equipment to go through those aisles, and so the information is incorrect, so to speak. Now that speaks volumes, folks. That speaks volumes. You imagine uh, if that is the case. I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying if that's the case, how many people were shown information that's on seed packages that that they still kept that way, even though they have the ability with computers to go in and just change that information that's on those packs and say instead of planting tomatoes 3 feet apart, 2 feet would be fine. That, for instance, and they did not. They just left it as is because they know that the spacing works, of course. But would you could you come up with something that's better for today's situation, or when you're gardening at home, where you may not need 3 feet space, you may only need 2 feet of space between like large variety tomato plants, and determine it. Um, so that being said, it's interesting. It's very much interesting that they set it up for actually the farmer with the large equipment. That's interesting. Had me really kind of going, I wonder. So that was educational to me. But he put it out there. He did a really good job of the video. I can't call the name of the gentleman's video. I apologize for that. But he put it out there, and it asked a question about spacing. Then they had videos back in the past I would watch, and it was information about the people planting their garden plants closer together. So I thought that was interesting too. So that being said, so how's everybody been out there? I hope that you've been out there in your gardens, getting things on the way. Any changes in anything? Like I'm getting rapid growth out of my plants that are on the property. I mean, they're growing like leaps and bounds, and I think that's very interesting when I see that. So, you know, that's the fun thing about gardening when you actually can uh, leave for work, come home, and then look at the plant again, and the plant's much taller and bigger than you actually remember that plant. Right. A little slow here today, but it's expected because everyone said, "Oh, the Boney Garden is not online today. Where is he?" And I said to myself, "Oh my goodness!" I said, "I can't believe this will be the first time that I'll be going online late. And you don't want to do that because people are sitting. Some people. One gentleman said, "I apologize." Uh, one gentleman said to me, he said, "You know, I listen to your show when I'm at work, and I thought a lot about that because um, some people like certain shows, and they want to make certain that they get their weekly broadcast in so that they can enjoy the show. And you have to put some kind of quality into the show so they get that information that they need. A little bit of comedy on the side, a little bit of movement, a little bit of because you got to keep things flowing. But I think that I get a kick out of watching most of the shows because it's very strange because people come up with all different type of angles to do their show, and I think that's quite interesting to me. Another thing that gets me is some people do music at the beginning of the videos, and sometimes they'll get the music just right, or sometimes they have like really long music that just because they like the song, or they have like a really long intro on the video, and I'll just listen. Wow, they really must really like that song. Um, I used to do that with my videos, and because that's old school. It's old school. This way they did things back in the day. Um, the Honeymooners, they would come up with this long song, and it would just play at the beginning, and it would run all the credits and everything, and then it would go straight into the show. For instance, how Ralphie Boyd, and that sort of thing. So it was interesting. But now we can do that with a push of a click with a button. Editing and set things up and move things around, and it's just so much faster. Um, so I'm just really enjoying the way they make things now. Looks like other all right in Maryland. Yeah, I've been hearing about that, and looking like another frost. Yeah, yeah, and so I'm saying that I have plants that I got to pull in today. Uh, before nightfall actually, pull them in and go from there. But I think that was up until 7 o'clock. But I just want to be on the safe side, take care of my plants because we have that watch tonight. You are definitely on top of it. You are definitely on top of that. Yeah, yeah, that's exactly what I've been hearing. Well, I guess that should do it for me today, folks. It's been a short one, but it's been a good one. Always a positive thing to come in and definitely check in and let everybody know that I'm still breathing in and out and having a good time. Been an interesting week. I've been hearing a lot about the news at work, and it's been quite interesting, to say the least. To say the least, it's been quite interesting, and I just when I hear, I just listen. I listen because um, I think it's something where you tend to learn more in some cases when you just listen. But it's just an interesting thing. Oh man, just got on here. Oh, okay, I got you. I got you. I didn't know. Well, you know something. I can't do that to you. I cannot do that to you. Um, I cannot do that to you because I have people that just got here and to just to just leave like that. I'm gonna give it a few minutes and because we need to talk about fertilization regimens. Fertilization regimen. And folks, if you got to understand it, it's such a key when you have the timing right. But now, if you're using natural fertilizers, let me just say this to you. Let's say you're using let's say your money. I'm gonna teach you some things that I've learned. If you don't already know, you might already know. I'm not saying that you don't, but let's say that you have your money is tight. You don't have a lot of money this year. You've been out of work due to the pandemic last year, and you're still playing catch up. Don't have a lot of money to waste on certain things when it comes to gardening, but you did happen to have some seeds in a drawer downstairs, so you still got your garden up and going. But you're concerned about what am I going to do to fertilize these plants? Well, let's say over in the corner of your backyard, you do have some compost that's been left there. Here's what I do. Now, money's tight. Old trick I used to do back in the day. It was really great. These are 5-gallon strainers, paint strainers. Actually, they go on to the into the pot, and they're paint strainers. You simply load it up with some compost, and please, folks, this is not complex. You don't take this and say, "Well, how much and how little and how much and how little, how much?" No, don't do that. Just take and put maybe maybe 3-4 pounds in the sock. Tie it up, drop it into a bucket of 5-gallon bucket, or I like to use the old 32-gallon trash can if you got one of them sitting around empty. And you drop the unit down into there, and I like to tie a rope onto it so I can dunk it up and down like a huge tea bag. Take that and water your plants with it every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks. Now, if you want to, on top of that, take and put it in a spray, one of the spray containers that you pump up. You can actually do a foliar spray once a week. See, this is called spoon feeding your plant fertilizer. And what better fertilizer? And there's no better fertilizer than compost. Uh, some of the largest plants in the world have been grown with compost. Some of the largest pumpkins in the world have been grown with liquid compost. The stuff that you get from leaves and grass clippings and that sort of thing, and have grown some of the largest pumpkins in the world. The same thing goes with watermelon. Now, I'm not saying that some people don't add certain things into the compost because they do. That's just a fact. But to spoon feed a plant instead of feeding them once a month, make it every 2 weeks, down at the root base. You pour it down at the root base, and then you take some and you spray foliar underneath the leaves and on top of the leaves. Early in the morning is best, and late in the evening is acceptable if your schedule permits. But best time is early in the morning when all of the plants pores, so to speak, are open, and you can get your plants going real good, and you can have a successful garden. It's not written in anybody's book that you have to go to the box store to get fertilizer. You don't have to. You can use natural fertilizer such as compost, and it will grow the best tasting tomatoes on the earth. And that's how that works. And you can make more use of um, your fertilizer, like I said, with, for instance, compost. Um, by being able to stretch it by using this method of making a tea from it. You can get more use out of your fertilizer, and that's how that works. Because you may not have enough fertilizer to do your entire garden, but you might have enough to make tea out of, and you could take a small amount and make gallons of tea with it. Like you imagine that you take uh, 3 pounds of compost. Say you may have about 100 pounds of compost, and you say, no, I need to stretch this because I want to make sure I have enough. You can actually make that tea out of it and pour it around the base every 2 weeks, and your plants will jump out of the ground, and you'll say to yourself, "Wow, this helps me immensely," because you don't have always the funds to splurge all over the place for things you don't need. Um, I see people doing things online. I watch them, and I said, "Wow, they are buying up some things because of some of this stimulus money, and so they're buying really expensive garden pieces to their upper Marlboro. Okay, and they're buying things so that they can go and thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you. And they will buy things that that they want to treat themselves to. But a lot of the items that you're buying for your garden are really, folks, they're really designed to catch gardeners. They're not really necessary for you to grow, because those farmers have been doing great things with things that you've seen in shop lights, for instance, is a classic. Instead of the big expensive lights that they have in the stores nowadays. They have these fancy lights. If you look at them, they look exotic and they look like something new wave. And they do that because they got to make the items look a certain way so that you will purchase them. Whether they work or not is, you got to actually judge it on this track record. Something that's been around for a while, you can see the actual results of it. Because I'm hearing some of those lights that they have are too hot. I'm hearing that. Some of the lights are emitting certain light frequencies that really are not necessary. But they sell real good, so they got to do what they got to do. Let's see. Protect from the frost. Protect from the frost. I don't know what you. Let's see. What are you doing? Let's see. Are you doing anything to protect those frost in the next couple of days? Okay. Now that's a good question. I have some corn that I put in. Let's see. Corn is fine down to around 28 degrees. So you got to really keep your fingers crossed on that. I put some potatoes out. They'll be fine. I am concerned about my ginger, because not a lot is known in most gardens about ginger. Not a lot. Some things about ginger, what temperatures it grows best in, and what soils it like, and things of this nature, and whether it grows better in sun or whether it grows better in shaded areas. So you do hit some information. However, I really do enjoy. I do enjoy the growing. Getting things out there early. I did enjoy that, but I'm still looking around, going, okay. Now the large Swiss chard, please, you don't have to worry about that ever with this little frost they're talking about. But I have tomato plants. My peppers even was out. Some nights it got down into the 40s. that I mean, I was concerned about it, because I said, "Oh man, it's 40 degrees tonight," but knowing me, testing it, I left it out there. Got up, they were completely fine. The corn was completely fine. Now I do have trees that I cannot bring indoors that are full of apple blooms that that I'm like, wow. I'm like, this is really interesting. But they're fine. I mean, you could actually find out what it is you're growing, and this might help you out. And Google what cold temperatures may cause damage to this plant. And Google will tell you what exactly temperatures that plant will stand. You can do them one at a time, just go through the list. Another thing you can do is actually water your plants before it gets cold, because with the additional water in the plants, it'll help the plants from freezing. Let's see. Great to catch you live. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. The Urban Gardener. The Urban Gardener. Yeah. I was getting ready to close it out well, I'm going to close it out at 7 o'clock. That's what I'm going to do. Got to cut it off at 7 o'clock. Got a couple of things I got to do. And I got to go pull some plants and water some plants and feed some plants, because these plants acting like they're hungry. They're eating up everything in the house. They're eating up everything. These plants are eating up everything. I can't believe plants eat so much. Just keep you moving, keep you grabbing stuff, and keep you just going like this. Gotta get some food, huh? Gotta do I haven't been rehearsing lately, doing any of my vocal rehearsals. I said I was checking, setting up for my show / stream. Okay. Oh, okay. You get. Let's see. Let me see. I was just setting up for my live stream. Yes. Okay. If I get some time, I will check that out. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Urban Gardener. Yes, I'll check that out. Hear that, folks? Urban Gardener is going to be doing a live stream. I don't know what time he's going to do it, but he's setting up for it now. So let's make sure we catch him and support our family members online, because they're out there sharing information, coming on, taking their time, investing in their show, and so we want to make sure we support them. We want to make sure we do that. Remember, the Urban Gardener is going to be online, a live stream sometime today. He's keeping. Oh yeah, there we go. 5 p.m. Say 5 p.m. PST. Thanks. I tell you, folks, he's going to be online, giving us some information about gardening. And my understanding is, I say I'll check him out. Also, that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. So you're gonna go through the shock of the Morning Gardener right into another show. You can be like, okay, all right, okay. But oh my goodness. There's one plant in my yard I'm so proud of, and that is yes, it's important to support the gardening community. It's absolutely, folks. It's very important that we support each other. I got to tell you, my favorite plant on the property this week is got to be the grapevines. Got to be the grapevines. They came through like champions. I mean, they were just up there like champions. And so the grapevines, one didn't make it, as I said earlier. One didn't. It's just so much that I learned from the grapevines. When they got smothered out with the with the weeds over top of the situation. And I got and keep in mind, I also got a lot to do tomorrow. I got to fertilize a whole garden, and I have a pretty good sized garden. I got to fertilize an entire garden tomorrow, because the key to keeping your plants growing very well is to never ever let them go to under any kind of stress if you can avoid it. I mean, no kind of stress from being hungry or temperature wise or um, anything that would take away from them being very, uh, you know, comfortable with where they're growing and food supply is there and the correct temperatures there. That's what you want. But when you stress plants, is when you start running into things that will cause you to have start having issues. Bugs only attack plants, for instance, that are really stressed out. They mainly attack those. Um, if you got a plant there that you're not watering properly, that you're not feeding properly, and it starts to stress, then bugs will move in and start to eat that plant because that's their job, is to clean up, any disease, dying, or ailing plants. That's what they do. They remove the weak. All right, good people. That has been my show today. This is the Morning Garden Show, and I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in this evening and making certain that we have a little talk, and we did, and I appreciate that. But this is the Morning Garden Show, and I want to thank you and have a good evening. And remember to keep on growing. Keep growing, folks.